When we think of Hollywood and California, we typically associate it to radical left-wing nut jobs. The socialist one-party state is known for having the highest taxes in the nation, a homeless epidemic, a dying middle class, I don't even think there's one left, and policies that favor illegal aliens over hard-working American families. And the west side of Los Angeles is one of America's most Democrat strongholds, home to activist smug celebrities that virtue signal and try to lecture us on how we should live our lives. But something is changing on the left coast. Californians and celebrities are getting fed up with living in a liberal hellhole. A movement exposing the hypocrisy of the left is gaining steam in the Golden State. At least 33 celebrities are bailing on the radical Democrat Party to support President Trump. If you can believe this, hundreds of Patriot Trump supporters held a rally in the very liberal Beverly Hills. It shows Californians are waking up and don't want our great nation stolen from Marxist radical Democrats. Our next guest went to that rally and is joining the growing list of celebrities that vocally support our president and says a red wave could be taking over California and Hollywood. Joining us now is actress and Trump supporter Samaire Armstrong. Samaire, it's great to see you again.
It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Happy to have you on. So I only wish I could have joined you at this rally. Tell me about it, because I think a lot of people around the country are so surprised we're seeing more and more of these pro-Trump rallies in California, of all places.
Yeah, they're all over every weekend. In fact, this Beverly Hills one has been going on for several months now. It was my first time there. The weekend before that I went was supposedly a 2,000 people turnout. So it's catching on. Yeah, this is the weekend that I went. It was a family affair, nothing but pure joy and happiness, patriotism, cars driving by, honking their horns, showing support for our president. It was quite an unbelievable experience, one that I'd never thought I'd have in California.
All right, and as you mentioned, you know, we're seeing these all over California. Northern California, there was one in San Diego that I saw as well. There have been people that have had rumblings about talking, boy, it could be a massive surprise. Maybe California goes for President Trump. I don't think that would happen, but I'll tell you, with everything going on with the Chinese virus and all the restrictions, what I do know, there's an awful lot of people fed up with that state. What do you think could happen this time around?
You know, I was really surprised by how many people at this particular rally were previously identified as Democrats and had come and made the switch during this COVID experience between the China virus and all the riots that's been going on. People are fed up and sick of it. Not only that, but people have the opportunity, because of the unfortunate lockdowns, but to, for the first time, perhaps do their own research to see everything that they've been fed for so long was inherently a lie, lies upon lies. So I don't know necessarily that we'd have a red wave and turn entirely into a red state. I imagine it'll be fairly neck to neck, but people are coming out of the woodworks, you know, declaring their support for our president. So this is a exciting time, and he definitely has more people's ears than he had just a few months ago out here.
I think that is definitely true. Now, clearly what people are getting, and this is really all across the nation, but ground zero is Hollywood and all of these so-called stars that are denouncing President Trump. You got Chelsea Handler, who's an absolute disgrace in my book. I want to play a soundbite from her and then let you respond.
I would go to the first class lounge, check in, then run over to the Fox News section and start assaulting people. Like I would go in and be like, "You're a racist," and then I'd run out, and then I'd run back in and go, "Do you want your daughter to have rights because she won't?" And then I'd run out, then I'd run back into the Fox News section and go, "Are you still a racist?"
Well, all the cackling hens, excuse my language, are laughing at her, but really there's nothing even funny about that joke, but she's never really been that funny anyway, Samaire.
No, it's true, and there's nothing funny about mental disorders, which she clearly exhibits, and, you know, it's a shame that she has the platform that she does. But, you know, she she portrays herself as a not very intellectual or highly educated, mostly hysterical individual, and needs to be called out. And I take pleasure in pointing out the absurdity of these types of people. I'm excited that they have the opportunity to make asses of themselves, as often as they do, to point out just a small percentage of what the rest of the radical left, toxic radical left actually is.
Well, Samaire, here I was getting word that I called them cackling hens. You just said they make asses out of themselves. So, you know what? We make a good pair tonight. I appreciate you coming on the program. Real quick, give me your Instagram for everybody because you're a great source of information.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Samaire.xoxo is my Instagram handle. And I take great pride in sharing information that doesn't necessarily get out there. And thank you so much for doing such a great service in that as well.
Well, you're too kind. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much, and we can't wait to have you on the program again. All right.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest-growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them. Tell them you want Newsmax TV because we're real news for real people.